I am very excited to have my next guest join us, a dear friend of the program who just dropped her debut EP solo project called Superpowers, Alisa Xayalith.
Hi.
Hello, hello.
Oh my gosh. I was trying to think of the last time we spoke, and I want to say it was like backstage at a festival, though I can't remember which one. Was it Austin City Limits?
You
Or was
have a
it?
very good memory, yes.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
We have been doing this for quite some time.
Yeah.
Literally, gosh, I want to say over 10 years now or
Yeah.
thereabouts,
Yeah,
right?
that's right.
And so to witness one's growth, our growth, and seeing society change and all these things, I feel like
Mhm.
that, there's different perspective that may affect one's outlook on life. And you clearly have shown a lot of growth over the years, as we see on your socials and in your music.
Yeah, no, for sure. There's been a lot of growth, and I feel like being in a band is kind of like the toughest thing that anybody could decide to do, and you don't realize just how tough it is until you're in it. And I was in it. I am still in one, though it has changed. It was originally a five member band, and now it's just the two of us. And then you've got the added dynamic of all of the interpersonal relationships and the history between Tom and I, and it was just like the biggest teacher of my life, where I have been able to experience the most incredible things, but also it has been like the source of like the lowest points in my life. So I have just been in years of therapy just trying to understand how I was able to navigate through certain situations. And yeah, it's been a crazy amount of growth. And um I'm glad I've grown. I'm glad I went through it all,
It's
to
got to
get to
be
where I am now.
it's got to be really interesting if you really look at the journey, especially if you read about it and if you document the various things, because a lot has been written about how the ups and downs of the Naked and Famous, what the band went through and how it affected the music and then was reflected in the music.
Yeah.
One would think, wow, this is the story of that you would see on some soap opera of some sorts,
Oh my
right?
God, I know. There was a lot of drama. It's crazy. It probably would be a very entertaining piece of like reality TV if we went back in time. But yeah, I lived through a lot, and I was thinking about this, like being in a band with five boys, and I never felt comfortable ever centering myself. And I was thinking about that, and I was trying to figure out why that was. And I come from a family of seven children, and I fall bang smack in the middle of that lineup. And so it was really natural for me not to center myself, to be like people pleasing and accommodating, and even if it meant at the expense of my mental health, I would just have to roll with the punches, you know, to continue. Okay, there's a breakup happening. Like I'm at the lowest point. I'm like having anxiety and depression, but you know what? Like just push it all down and just continue on. We have 3 more months of tour. Like when you get to the end of living life a certain way, you just get so burnt out and exhausted. And the pandemic was like this silver lining. As much as the world was kind of falling apart and it was awful, it was like a little gift for me where I actually thrived during the pandemic, and I took a break and I said, hey, we just made this album called Recover. Tom and I did not get along. We were at odds with each other. I didn't even know if the Naked and Famous was going to continue. I don't even know if I wanted to do it or if he wanted to do it anymore. And, we were hoping that going on tour in 2020 would kind of reinvigorate us over these songs that we labored tirelessly over. And it just didn't happen. So I said, you know what? I got to take a break. I'm like, I've always said yes for the greater good of the band, always, but not this time. So it was massive for me to kind of like make that decision when I had been living within a certain pattern for years and years.
Mm. I'm glad you brought up Recover, because we had spoken at that time during the pandemic. It was like pretty much, I think, the summer of 2020, in which the album had just come out, and we were talking about the things that you had gone through, the two of you, you and Tom, and then, you also taking moments to reflect on your own personal life, and you had obviously written some material regarding the things you went through with your mother, your thoughts about your mother, and that kind of subject matter. And so I was like, this is leading into something. I felt like that was going to at some point surface, and here you are with this batch of music and this material. Was that the starting point for this? Was it already brewing, and these songs were kind of,
I think,
something for the Naked and Famous at one point?
Well, I think that there were writing sessions in between, towards like when the album was being finished. And it was almost like I thought of it in terms of like building myself a lifeboat, because I felt so the process of making that Naked and Famous record was so overwhelming and claustrophobic. I think claustrophobic is a great word, because there were just so many things that I wasn't able to do. It was like every time I would try something, it would just be like, well, that doesn't fit within the parameters of the Naked and Famous for whatever reason. And I'm just like, I don't even think that there's any room for me here to grow. Like, this just doesn't feel good. So I ended up just having writing sessions with friends outside of writing sessions for the Naked and Famous, and they were kind of like little pit stops where I could just be like, okay, so what am I feeling? What am I going through right now? And I think the first song that came out of that was Devil I Know. And Devil I Know is all about breaking patterns, breaking old patterns that can be toxic to you. And I feel like that was kind of the song where I kind of hung my hat on the beginning of the process of making an EP.
I love that song. That's been a standout for me.
Thank you.
I do need to note and point out and talk about how High Fidelity is being used in a very interesting way.
Oh my gosh, you saw TikTok. That?
Yes, I did. Yes, what? I did. Yes, I did.
I was so shocked. I was like, what is happening right now? This can't be real. Is this real? I'm like, okay.
To give context for people that are actually watching and understanding, your sound was used in a video of a girl explaining how if you don't use the clitoris, it will dry up or shrink or something like that.
It will apparently atrophy.
So if the clitoris is not regularly stimulated, it can lose its function, and this is called clitoral atrophy.
Yeah.
Have you spoken to her? Why?
I haven't spoken to her. I've deleted the video. But that's as far as I've gotten. I was like, of all the songs that she could have chosen, she chose mine. So I don't know. Maybe it's on a sexy playlist. Maybe there's something, I hope it's on a sexy playlist. That sounds fun.
You said High Fidelity centered around love and
desire.
So
makes sense.
When High Fidelity came out, gosh, over a year, pretty much
a year ago. It was a year ago, yeah.
Why did you put that song out first? I feel like that was an interesting choice.
I wanted to put that one out first because I wanted something different to be out there. I think Devil I Know has all of the little bits that are identifiable for like me from the Naked and Famous, and High Fidelity was just such a different sonic palette, and I really loved the idea of leading my project with a love song about desire and longing, and also because I have not really been able to write a love song like that in the Naked and Famous, and I don't think I will ever be able to because it just wouldn't work. So yeah, I just for that reason I decided to put High Fidelity out.
It was very telling because it seemed to be not only a joyous song, but it kind of set the bar for what to expect with regards to the sonics of the music on this EP, as well as your mindset of where you were at that point. It seemed like you're pretty content, like, okay, I'm done battling, I'm done with the strife, the ups and downs in a very public manner as well. And I'm just going to do this, and it seemed to be very freeing.
Very freeing, and I think the thing about this project that was really important to me was for everything had to feel effortless. The vocal had to feel effortless. The songwriting had to feel effortless. The way that the parts moved had to feel effortless, because I had come from cutting my teeth, just like doing a million vocal takes until they were perfect, and that kind of like school of thought when it came to recording music. But I wanted my process to feel life-giving and effortless and fun, because I when I started writing for my project and collaborating with other people, I was like, wow, making music is actually fun. I haven't felt like this in a really long time. Like, is this what it's like for everybody that makes music? I don't know the answers, but this is just something that I'm navigating, figuring it out.
No, you're doing great. Well, hey, happy holidays to you.
Thank you. You too.
It's so good to see you.
It's good to see you too, and thank you for chatting to me about the new music, and it was nice to catch up. So until the next.
Yeah, I wish we could have done this in person, but we have this wonderful technology.
Zoom.
That's right.